Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Holland Ice at Baxter Arena for Senior Night 2026 for these Omaha Mavericks. We will turn our attention to public address announcer David Olson. Unmute him. There's the senior goaltender from Toulouse, France, Nawal Vayan, skating to the near side board, meeting his girlfriend, Cassidy Carpenter, one of two seniors honored here tonight for these Mavericks. As Vayan poses with Cooper there. There you hear the applause for the captain, the 3-year captain, Troy Hunsaker, posing on the near side with his mother and father, Dee and Travis Hunsaker, his sister, Deanna Hunsaker, and his fiance and former Omaha volleyball star, McKenna Rook. Hunsaker and Vayan, the two seniors of the 25-26 Mavericks. We will now take a break as the teams take the ice for the 10-minute warm-up period, and we'll be back with you before puck drop for Game 2 between Creighton and number 9 Omaha. You're watching the UNO ACHA Mavericks channel on YouTube.
Can't believe they're playing Calderon.
It's the University of Nebraska Omaha, ACHA hockey, live from Holland Ice at Baxter Arena. The ninth-ranked Omaha Mavericks and the Creighton Blue Jays wrap up this two-game series in an ACHA Division III contest. Hello out there. Once again, Nate Obrecht alongside our producers, Caden McDermott and Sebastian Cassiopo. What we have in front of us tonight, beyond the finale of this River City rivalry and Mid-American West Division clash, sits the Nebraska Cup, the regular season trophy first handed out in 2025. The team that clinches it claims bragging rights as the best team in the Cornhusker State in ACHA D3 play. The Creighton victory last night over Omaha has simplified our situation. The winner of this 60-minute contest from Exarban Village tonight will hoist the trophy and end its season on the highest note possible in this state. Seniors Nowell Dayan and Troy Hunsaker were honored for their outstanding ACHA careers as they look to make one more permanent mark in Mavericks club hockey history. Dayan will be getting the start tonight on senior night for these Mavericks. He has not played since the last 13 minutes of Game 2 against Illinois State when he entered and made just 2 stops. But he did pick up the win as Omaha netted the game-winning goal while he was between the pipes against the Redbirds last Saturday. On the opposite end is another senior. It is Charles Calderon. He will take the cage for the Blue Jays. He's 4-2 on the year, but Calderon has not started in net or made any appearance since November the 14th against Nebraska in Lincoln. It will lead to an interesting matchup and 2 senior goaltenders in net. It's Creighton and number 9 Omaha. It's the finale of this 2-game set for the Nebraska Cup, and it's coming up quick on the UNO ACHA Mavericks YouTube channel. But first, we'll turn it over to our public address announcer, David Olson.
You see, I long to be was so happy and I to see whose eyes and bright stars will never on the ramparts we walk. Words of God we sing, and all ye that our blood still there, will sing that song, sing. I away for the land, for free, have a home of
And hello again, everybody. Game 2 between Omaha and Creighton in the Dodge Street Derby. In Game 1 a night ago, it was the Blue Jays with just 20 seconds on the clock putting in the game-winning goal to take the 7th all-time meeting between these two sides by a score of 4-3. 2 different goaltenders in tonight for the finale. As we'll see, Nowell Dayan with his 10-2 record across 13 starts, pitted up against Charles Calderon, the senior out of Stillwater, Minnesota, between the pipes for the Blue Jays. The Omaha Mavericks break from the huddle in front of third-year head coach Nick Harrihill. His record of 55, 29, and 5, with 2 ties, both coming this year. up against the first-year head coach of Chris Clement, arguably his biggest win in his coaching career a night ago, defeating the number 9 team in the land. We've got the series finale as Hedquist, Glazer, and Shermer out there on the attack for the Mavericks, with Camden Fories and the captain, Troy Hunsaker. Crowd roaring to life early behind the support of these Mavericks. Hunsaker with a touch on the puck. He's played just 17 games this season, but Troy Hunsaker playing his 77th career ACHA game. He's got 11 goals and the program record 35 assists by a defenseman in his 4-year career with the Mavs. As we mentioned before, he's been the captain, wearing the C on his chest for 61 of those games from the 2023 season through this year. In the 23-24 campaign, he shared those duties with Ryan Huppy, who is shooting photos for the Mavericks along the glass today. Shot from the Blue Jays, and Bayan's got his first stop on senior night. Bayan, the senior by way of Midland University, played his first 3 years of ACHA hockey there, coming out of Toulouse, France. Lived in Chile for a while and the Lone Star State of Texas before finding his way to Nebraska and playing in this Nebraska Cup final. Shermer forces a turnover. Glazer with a backhand drive onto Calderon, and he parries that one aside for Calderon's first stop for Creighton. Back the other way, skates Schumacher. His shot cut out by Lowndes on defense, and Glazer works with it past center ice and gains the line. Loses the puck, trying to dance around Sean Burns. Burns did not play last night. The sophomore out of Edina, a healthy number of Blue Jays from Edina, Minnesota. As a shot in from Burns goes wide of Vayan, rings around the back wall to Calderon. David Calderon, the younger brother of Charles Calderon, in net. David, the sophomore. Charles, the goaltending senior. As loose puck in the crease, Fitch had a try at it. The puck was wide of the cage, which appears to be off of that goal line behind Calderon. And taking that puck behind Calderon was Mann. He loses it along the back of the netting. Wagner wins it back. Wyatt Wagner from the faceoff dot. To the point, Lowndes. Battles in front as Lowndes sends it down low. Taken by Mann. He misses the puck, and it's grabbed by Burns. Burns clears to center as we are just over 2 minutes into game 2. Calderon had a goal last night to extend his point streak to 8. He weakly flutters one on that Bayan sticks aside for Lowndes. Charlie Lowndes, the big rig, works across the blue line and into the zone. From the backhand, centers it out front, looking for Charlie Shea. He couldn't bang it home, and it goes out of the zone where it's picked up by Chris Brown. Christopher Brown, taken off the puck by Lowndes, one straight to Dominic Coury. Coury dumps it in on the backhand. He's a sophomore out of Dunlap, Illinois. And he's chasing after the puck there. Omaha taking possession. It's James Shea connecting with Noah Dirkschneider, who tips it into the offensive zone. Just past 3 minutes, and it's Ethan Cooper finding Coury at center ice. Cooper got his first career ACHA goal a night ago for Creighton, tying the game at 3. He's chasing after Mason Beff, who's working out of the Mavericks' defensive zone. Sent it to Shea, who dumps it the rest of the way down. Poke check, frees the puck loose along the back wall, and it's Braden Kraut taking that puck, centering it across, and it's picked off by Coury. Sent out to Lai at center. Harassed by Kraut, but still is able to find Seed. Backhand drive, and it's poked off with his stick by Noel Vayan. Cleared out to center by the Maverick defense, and a great stop from Vayan there on the poke check from Seed, who had the game-winning goal with just 20 seconds remaining in the contest a night ago. Errant pass, and it should have been icing, negated and waved off by our officials. Beff tried to connect with Glazer at center ice. Instead, it's Shermer intercepting it and taking it in. Gives it to Glazer. Back to Shermer. He couldn't connect with the pass. Penalty coming up as Shermer was prohibited from playing that puck by Caden Latcher and draws a penalty on the play. Latcher skates off, hooking the call at 4 minutes and 12 seconds of the first period. Omaha the first to go on the man advantage tonight. They were just 1 for 7 in contests a night ago, including 3 5-on-3 chances in which they were unsuccessful. The one power play goal came off the stick blade of that man, Blake Glazer. He's got the puck at the top of the zone. Holding, firing, stick save, Calderon. To the corner it goes, grabbed by Pino, but not cleared. Lowndes keeps it in, finding Glazer, skips off of his stick, he leaves it for Hedquist. Back to Lowndes along the blue line. 30 seconds gone on this man advantage, the first of the game for the Mavs. Glazer tomahawks to Lowndes, drive wide of the cage. It rings all the way out to center ice. Blake Glazer holds the puck there with his 38 goals and 38 assists to lead the ACHA in 29 games played. Turnover there, and Creighton is able to clear the ice halfway through their first penalty kill of the game. Fories was waiting on that pass. It's cut out by Burns. Blocker save made by Vayan. As Burns just picked that one off, Fories was waiting for it to come to him. You got to go to the puck as Hedquist works it back into the offensive zone. Hedquist behind the cage. Takes a whack, now 2 from Burns, getting it to Glazer. Glazer looks once, works into the slot, gets it to Hunsaker. In a dangerous location, Hunsaker back to Glazer, tip try once, rebound and it's in! Omaha takes the early lead on the power play. Boy, it was a fracas in front of the net, but Glazer picked up his own rebound, which he sent off the side of the cage, and buried it into the netting behind Calderon to put the Mavs up 1-0 in this Nebraska Cup final. And that senior night, the captain, Troy Hunsaker, assisting on the first goal for Omaha. Back to 5-on-5 action. They have not wiped off that penalty off the scoreboard here at Holland Ice as the puck below the goal line. Schumacher, with 2 assists a night ago for Creighton, gets it to Latcher, who just found his way out of the penalty box after Glazer's goal freed him. Fitch works it to Mann. Mann crashing in, shot. Blocker save, Calderon. It's to the corner. Mann with a great reverse hit, body contact there on Wheaton. But the puck is freed to the far side, grabbed by Latcher, and Schumacher gets it the rest of the way out. Quickly turned back over to Omaha, and Mann works it into the zone again. 3 goals and 3 assists through the 2 games in 24-25. Shot right off the mask of Calderon is left on the near side wall, and Biebler clears it to center. Christopher Brown, 1 against 4, as he dumps it the rest of the way down. Dirk Schneider goes off the back bar and sends it to center. Omaha dumping it down. We're 7 minutes through period 1. Shots are 5-3 in favor of the Crimson and Black, and the score reflects that. 1-0 Omaha. And a long shot down from Kroski from his defensive corner all the way to the Mavs end. Goes for icing. As with 12:46 to go, Omaha gets an offensive zone draw. The backup goalie on the Creighton bench tonight appears to be number 1, Sean Sullivan. Meaning, after his impressive 64 save performance, the goaltender from last night, Bertram, will not factor into the decision today. Tessier, cross-ice pass, Omaha on the attack again. Hunsaker's shot saved by Calderon. To the far side wall, Pino can't clear. Tessier finds it, fires off the mask, loose in front. Epperson shoots and it's in! Lucas Epperson from his breezers puts the Mavs up to The crowd roars to life for Lucas Epperson. He gets his second career goal and gives the Mavs a 2-goal lead here in the first. And exactly 2 minutes after the first Kearneyite to score, another Kearney, Nebraska native, Lucas Epperson, doubles the Maverick lead to 2-0. Oh, he was on his backside on top of the crease, and Epperson just found that puck and pushed it past Calderon on the glove side. 2-0 UNO. Tessier and Bradley with assists on Epperson's second career goal. And quickly back on the attack of the Mavs. Glazer to Shermer, fired off the pads of Seed. Seed with a myriad of shot blocks last night. He gets another one right on his shin pads today, and it's out to center. What a fast start, and quite the shift from last night for these Mavericks. It was 1-1 after 1, and Creighton had the first goal. It's 2-0 early for Omaha in this one. Glazer to the point for Lowndes. Rips it, blocker stop by Calderon. Another drive, and it's tipped aside off the chance from Glazer. Corey picks it up. Has trouble possessing it. It's picked off by Farnsworth. Farnsworth dances in. Can't get the pass to Shermer. Oh, man. He could have just lifted it over that blocker side of Calderon as Creighton leaks that puck into the offensive zone. It's picked back up by the freshman Farnsworth. Farnsworth right past the D. Fires, and it's stopped by Calderon. Picked up by Wheaton, but Fitch, with hyaluronic acid in his shorts, reaches up and knocks that puck down. Creighton gains the puck, sends it out to the point. Krosky can't get that shot through Fitch, and it's to the far side wall. Charlie Lowndes flicks it out to center. From center ice, Biebler trying to cycle with Latcher. It's back to the Creighton defensive zone for Latcher. Blue Jays with just 3 shots through the first 10 minutes of this period compared to the Mavericks' 10, and they've put 2 behind Calderon through the first 10 minutes of play. Biebler loses the puck right on entry. Fitch tried to give a pass across the blue line, but Kraut was offside, so they have to regroup, and Creighton dumps it down. DeSpirito did get credit for the goal last night, and he sends it up the ice for Kraut. Pass too far for him, and it will go for icing. 10 minutes and 23 seconds into the first. The puck down on the end of the ice where we see the posters for 81 and 40, the 2 seniors out of Toulouse, France, and Bellevue, Nebraska, respectively. That's Nawal Vayan and Troy Hunsaker being honored here today for all of the accolades associated with their 4-year careers in the ACHA. Omaha gets this puck to center. Kraut darting after it. He'll have to chase it back to center ice, as picking that one off is Chris Brown. He's poke-checked off the puck by Charlie Shea on the back check. Catching up to that one is Charles Clements. Clements works it towards the slot, but denied by the stick of Vayan. Now another shot loose, and Vayan pounces on that puck, covering up with just his 4th save of the frame. And he holds that one for the whistle. Vayan played his first 3 seasons with the Midland Warriors in Fremont, Nebraska. There he amassed a 13-20 record, over 39 games played in 3 seasons, logging just shy of 2,200 minutes in the Orange and Navy of the Warriors. Omaha gets this puck down into the offensive zone once more. Hunsaker for Kraut. Kraut, beautiful stick moves to get around Burns. Fires one, tipped a couple of times, loose on the crease. Shea fires one that's stopped by Calderon. Picked up by his brother David Calderon on the rebound and dumped as he gains center ice. Charlie Shea got that one up high, and touching up on that one is Cam Forries. It'll be a defensive zone draw after the high stick touch on the puck from the sophomore, Charlie Shea. .8:30 to go in period one. Omaha recently doubled the lead thanks to the second career goal from Lucas Epperson. Creighton loses that puck out front, trying to center it. No one was home. Omaha out to center, and Glazer's in. Glazer back to Shermer. Pirouettes and scores! What a shot from Tyler Shermer on the tomahawk. Burning Calderon low on the glove side. And the third goal the Mavericks have put by the senior netminder, Charles Calderon, here in period number one, goes to the third Kearneyite to score in this one, Tyler Shermer. And go figure. This one comes at 11:45 and even 4 minutes after Epperson's tally, which was 2 minutes after Glazer's goal. Shermer back out in front for Glazer. Give the assists to Glazer and Hedquist on Shermer's 15th goal of the season, as he's now up to 29 points over 23 games. Big hit as Schumacher is erased on the blue line, and the puck is freed to center. Offside are the Blue Jays, and they'll get an extra second to regain their wind after Schumacher was leveled right at the faceoff dot by the big rig Charlie Lowndes. We'll get a neutral zone draw because of the offside on Creighton. They find themselves in a 3-0 hole after taking a 1-goal victory a night ago. The two seniors connect as Vayen leaves one for Hunsaker. It's lifted out to center ice for Tommy Sieve of the Blue Jays. Sieve dumps it in, feeling the pressure, and Omaha regains possession. Fitch in on the attack. Works down the wall, back out in front to Mann. His shot goes just wide, didn't get all of that one. Picked up by Chris Brown right into the skates of Calderon. Trouble possessing the puck, but Brown finds it and carries it in. Hip check avoided by Brown. His centering try cut out by Mann. Backhand drop to Forries, and he's clear to center ice, where he gets met by a wall in the form of Charles Clements and dumps it the rest of the way down. Fitch off the wall, skips over one stick and gets to Forries, who backhands it to the far side. Wagner and Kroski collide in the corner. It's one out by the skates of Kroski to Calderon at center ice. Can't dance around Hunsaker, and the puck is left for Omaha, who can regroup with 6.5 minutes to go in the frame. Fitch battling with a couple of Blue Jays along the wall. Lai digging after it in between the skates of the freshman out of Sioux City, Iowa. Now two aside join the fray as Wagner and Cooper help out their Maverick and Blue Jay respectively, and it's dug out finally by Lai. Takuri and Creighton clears. He dumps it, caddy corner and on the attack. It's picked up by Omaha. Behind the cage, Kraut. Pressured on by Burns. It's one out, and Kraut takes it to center ice red, taken down by Burns. No orange arms in the air as the puck is back to Creighton's defensive zone. Trouble possessing it there from Cooper on the forecheck from Charlie Shea. Still is able to find Burns, getting it out to center as Omaha touches up and draws a penalty. It is Braden Kraut, freshman out of Hastings, Minnesota, working his way to the penalty box. And the call, interference on Kraut. Well, this is where Creighton would like to get back into the contest. They were 4 for 4 on power play chances a night ago. New man out there tonight is Sean Burns, along with Tommy Seave. They get it down to Latcher. Top of the circle is Latcher. Cross-ice pass cut out on defense by Shermer. He lifts it up into the rafters, and as it clangs down to the ice, whistle blows, and an offensive zone draw as it's treated like a puck into the netting, though the defensive side would be able to make a line change should Omaha feel that necessary, but 13 seconds into a penalty kill, that first unit should still be rearing to go. As Calderon, off the draw, gets it to Burns across the blue line for Seave. Back to Burns. He hangs on to it for a moment. Cross-ice pass, Seave looking to connect with Latcher. It's cut out once more by Shermer, who takes a cross-check in the back from Clements, and it's cleared down. That's about the same play that Kraut was taken off for just a few moments ago. Is that play by Clements, who works the puck up the ice now. Gives one on the elbow to Tessier, and as Tessier stands him up, he grabs the face mask, plain as day, of Tessier. That can get you a game if you're not careful. Clements better watch out. He didn't play in the game last night, and he could be getting an early exit in this one. Five minutes and 13 seconds. It will wipe out the Maverick penalty kill. 1 for 1 today after 0 for 4 a night ago. Just 2 minutes on the board for Clements. He did not get called for the face masking, though we could show replay. As a shot in on the 4-on-4, stuffed by Calderon, Charlie Lowndes with the try. Lowndes outpacing all of the other Maverick defensemen. He's up to 11 goals and 23 assists, 34 points in his freshman campaign after playing last season in the East Coast with the East Coast Wizards in the Eastern Hockey League, a junior league. As Creighton wins this out to center ice, Latcher takes it in, met right at the blue line by Farnsworth, still is able to spin it towards center, but cut out by Lowndes to the stick blade of Glazer. Ryan the Rocket Hedquist works ahead. He's got Lowndes with him on a 2-on-1. Cross-ice pass, Lowndes chips it in! Found it from steel to skate blade. And puts it in to give the Mavericks a 4-goal advantage. Now an impressive 12 goals on the season for Lowndes. And it comes 4 minutes and 2 seconds after Shermer's third tally. It's Lowndes getting the goal at 15:47. We're still 4-on-4 for the next 43 seconds. And Omaha has gained a 4-goal advantage. 4's all over the place with 4:13 to go in the first. And let's talk about the number 4 a little bit more. As number 4, Tyler Shermer, the man who got the goal for the Mavericks, the third goal after Lowndes just netted the fourth one. There are 4 Mavericks from Kearney, Nebraska on this squad as Farnsworth works in, dances around and scores! Zach Farnsworth. Not too many ticks after Lowndes scored. Farnsworth buries one to give the Mavericks a 5-goal advantage. "18 seconds after the Lowndes goal to make it 4-0. It's Farnsworth all by himself, putting the Mavs up 5-0. Well, it wasn't long. I didn't even get to give you my 4 notes before we got on to 5. As the Maverick crowd roars to life, Calderon brings the puck into the offensive zone, giving it to Burns. He fans on the first attempt. His second shot is blocked out by Farnsworth. Mavericks back to full strength now with 35 seconds to work with on a brief man advantage. They'll have to get it out of the defensive zone first as Creighton's got the puck. Calderon can't find his man, and they do the easy part for him. Burns dumps it back in and goes for a line change. 20 seconds to go on the power play for Omaha. It is the second of the game. They're 1 for 1. Kraut sends one off the stick blade of Seave. Charlie Shea collects behind the cage. Leaves it there for Lowndes. He stops at the top of the zone. Rips one right into the glove of Calderon, who covers up and holds his 9th save on 14 Maverick shots. Omaha has 4 seconds to work with on the power play. Speaking of 4, there are 4 men from Kearney, Nebraska, just 250 miles west of here. Those are Tyler Shermer, Lucas Epperson, Blake Glazer, and Charlie Shea. 3 of the 4 have scored already in the first period against Creighton here tonight in the Nebraska Cup final as a tip try right out for Epperson. Already a goal in this one, and he couldn't get the second one on. Out to center it goes. Dirk Schneider dumps it back down. It's collected by the Blue Jays. Seave, pressure behind the cage, thanks to Barrett Bradley. Out to center, but not cleared. Back onto the stick of Bradley, who fires it wide. Rebound loose, and it's covered off the second attempt from Bradley. 2:23 to go in the first, and Omaha threatening again, already up 5. Boy, Omaha had its 8-game win streak ended by the Blue Jays a night ago. They were 24-3 entering play. They had not lost in the second semester. They had not lost since, in fact, the Colorado School of Mines lost on the road on November the 16th before Thanksgiving. And they have bounced back nicely here in the first 18 minutes. As headed off to the box is Tessier. Missed the call on that one. I'll get it to you at intermission. Seave works in and shoots one on. Stopped by Vayan, and another call coming up on the Mavericks. This time it's a high stick. We did see that one. And getting word that the Tessier call was for a slash. Well, the orange arm was in the air of the official, but no Mavericks worked off the ice. So 5-on-4 still. Creighton's second power play chance of the game. Off the slash from Tessier. As usually when the orange band makes a high stick motion, it's for a penalty. The linesman, when they make the high stick motion, it's for a stoppage of play. Hunsaker dumps this one down. 1:40 to go in the first. Tessier out of the box in 1:15, barring a Blue Jay goal. Burns works into the offensive zone for Creighton. Taking it down low, he circles behind the net. Creighton, a flair for the Dramatics already. Last night, getting the goal with 20 seconds left, and today in their basketball contest against Seton Hall with a 3-point bucket to take a 69-68 advantage over Seton Hall in the waning seconds of that one down at CHI Health Center in Omaha today. Latcher brings this one in for Creighton. Can't connect with Clements. Kept in by Krosky. Back to Latcher. Shot, and it's in. Caden Latcher puts this one past Vayan on the glove side. An even minute left in the period, and Creighton is on the board. Latcher with the goal on the power play. 1 for 2 tonight. 5 for 6 on the weekend are the Blue Jays. As Latcher with his 8th goal of the year did not factor into the goal column last night, but did get an assist on the first tally of the game by Calderon. Icing on Omaha with 54 seconds to go in the first. 5-1 our score. We're back to 5-on-5, though the board still shows a penalty to Tessier. That was the one the Blue Jays capitalized on. Omaha wins the faceoff draw. Long pass ahead from Farnsworth to Glazer. Stops. Poke checked off the puck by Kroski. Banks it off the glass, clears it out, and Lowndes sends it into the Blue Jay bench with 39 seconds to go in the first. Last night we saw when the Mavs headed to the intermission, tied. They moved their record to 6-2. As they win the neutral zone draw, Farnsworth brings this one in. From down low, he goes all the way up top for Lowndes. Rips it, tipped once by Hedquist and right into the chest of Calderon, who's got this one and hangs on with 27 seconds to go. As we mentioned earlier, Joey Bertram with an impressive 64 saves a night ago. A big part in helping the Blue Jays beat the Mavericks, not active in today's contest. Should Calderon be relieved of his duties in his final game with Creighton, it would be the freshman Sean Sullivan who would take his place in the cage. Omaha clears it out to center ice with 10 seconds to go. Creighton from the D zone, not a lot of time to work with as Pino tries to spring Calderon ahead. He can't possess the puck, and as Omaha gains possession, they ring her on the back wall, getting it to Shermer as the horn sounds to end the first. After one period of play, Omaha 5, Creighton 1. Shots are 16-6 in favor of the Crimson and Black as we head to our first intermission. We'll be back with you for period number 2. You're listening to the UNO ACHA Mavericks on YouTube. The crowd at Holland Ice roars back to life as they meet the Mavericks on the ice for period number 2. Second set of 20 set to begin alongside Sebastian Cassiopo and Caden McDermott. I'm Nate Obrick. Once again, we saw 6 goals in the first period, 5 of them for the Omaha Mavericks, the 9th best team in the nation, and the most recent one from the Creighton Blue Jays. For Omaha in the first, Glazer got the scoring started. He's got the nation lead in goals now at 39. Then it was Lucas Epperson, just his second goal of the year. The freshman out of Kearney buried the second goal just 2 minutes after Blake Glazer. Then Shermer, and even 4 minutes after Epperson's tally, made it 3-0 Mavs before Charlie Lowndes had one to make it 4-0, Farnsworth to make it 5-0, and Caden Latcher finally for the Blue Jays buried one past Vayan to bring us to our score of 5-1. As we begin period number 2, shots on goal heavily favor the Mavericks by way of 16-6. Vayan has made 5 stops. Calderon opposite has made 11. His brother is on the ice to begin period number 2 as Charles Calderon touches the puck up and dumps it in as Omaha gains possession. The captain, Troy Hunsaker, finds Hedquist. He loses it, but it's right to the stick blade of Shermer. Left for Glazer, back to the point man Voorhees. Holds, fires off the glass high. Skipping out to Hedquist on the far side wall. He picks it up and circles back in. To Hunsaker, skate to stick. Rings it around the back end for Glazer. He stops there, looks towards the front, finds Shermer, tipped once, sticked out by Calderon. That's Charles Calderon in net. Racing up the ice is Charles Clements, leaving it there for Cooper. Cross ice pass to David Calderon, and it's saved by Vayan. Omaha gains the puck. Wagner just looks at a man, and he falls down. Wyatt Wagner racing up the ice. Takes it far side, finds Hunsaker on the near corner. Hunsaker tried to look middle, deflects off David Calderon, and Troy Hunsaker back on the puck. Leaving it, gets it back again. Left it for Mann this time. Saved, loose in front, and cleared by David Calderon. All the way to Hunsaker at the point. He turns it back down low. Picked up by Mann, left out for Hunsaker. Shot off the blocker of Calderon. To the corner it goes, picked up by Wagner. He rings it around further. Racing after that one is Fitch. First touch by Krosky, but Lowndes keeps it in for a moment. Latcher to David Calderon. Tried to flick it. It's Latcher spinning one wide. Omaha gets to it and clears to center. Up skates Wyatt Wagner. Poked off the puck upon entry. But Creighton, with 3 guys there, neither can play the puck, and Krosky has to grab it from the corner. Sent up the near side to Pino. He dumps it in. 2 minutes gone by here in the second. If you missed the first period, you missed 5 goals for Omaha before Creighton answered with 1. Shot save made by Vayan. Deflected out to Fitch, who works ahead. 1 against 3 as Fitch splits the D, gets a shot off, played to the back wall by Charles Calderon. Out to center. Krosky can't get it through the Maverick back check. And Omaha circles into the defensive zone. Farnsworth already with a goal in this one. It's his 7th of the season as he's up to 16 points. And getting this one to Braden Kraut on the attack. Rips it, blocker stop. From blocker to glove of the goaltender Charles Calderon. And he hangs on to that. 2 minutes and 51 seconds into the frame with his 16th stop and 5th of this period. Calderon has been a familiar opponent for these Mavericks. He's played now 5 games against Omaha, this being his 5th contest. He's 0 for 4, 22 goals against, a 5.5 average for these Mavericks against Calderon. And they've got another 5 goals here today. This puck goes right into the Maverick bench, and we'll get a neutral zone draw. Last time out for Charles Calderon against Omaha was January 18, 2025. He made 23 saves on 30 total Omaha shots as the Mavs buried the Blue Jays by a score of 7-4. Racing in is Crowd again, ramping this one up off the top of the glass. It stays in play. For Burns in the corner, he takes a heavy shoulder from Charlie Shea, and the puck is freed up the near wall. Lai darts to the safety of the area behind his goaltender. There he starts up the near side, finding Chris Brown. Cross ice to Burns. Wheaton takes it and sends it the rest of the way in on the dump. Seed keeps it at the line. Tipped down, and Beth spins it towards the near side. Grabbed there by David Calderon. He can't hang on to it as he neared the goal line. Picked back up by Omaha with 4 minutes to go, and they clear to center. James Shea with a leveling blow at center ice and forcing an offside by the Blue Jays as Kroski brought it in, but David Calderon was still in the offensive side of the blue line. Of course, on the Mavericks side for the past 4 seasons was the goaltender Kyle Wernley. He got the 2 starts last season for Omaha. He's now the equipment manager with the USHL's Des Moines Buccaneers. He was in town tonight as his Bucks got a 4-0 victory over the Omaha Lancers at Liberty First Credit Union Arena earlier this evening. 3-on-2 rush developing for Omaha. Fories working with Tessier. He shoots it, saved by Calderon. Bradley kept it for a moment. David Calderon picks up the puck and races ahead. Moves around Hunsaker. Can't get the shot off. Great poke check from Barrett Bradley. Creighton keeps it in the zone. Heavy collision from Hunsaker. And the puck to the corner for Clements. Omaha laying the body as Hunsaker tangled up with Calderon behind the play. Racing ahead is Fories. Fakes a clap bomb. Takes it to the corner. Hunsaker and David Calderon skating side by side in the defensive zone of Omaha as the puck is down here in the offensive end. Errant board pass. Omaha takes it right back. Tessier working ahead. Cross the crease. Rebound by Shermer. It goes high. Picked up by Cooper right off the skates of the official and cleared. Fories just barely could not keep that one. And Omaha works ahead once more. Lowndes driving wide. Circles the cage. Loose in front for Glazer. Couple of whacks at it, but Calderon keeps the puck out and forces a face-off. 5.5 gone by here in the second. Nothing across to report. Omaha with a 5-1 advantage. Right off the draw, Shermer gets a chance, and off the pad of Calderon, he gains his own rebound to the point for Farnsworth. Rips it off a skate, and it goes wide. Hedquist can't connect, and it's taken the other way by Biebler. Biebler gets rocked along the blue line, and taking that one is the big rig Charlie Lowndes. Giving it to Glazer. They're in on the attack. Glazer loses it, skips off of his stick thanks to the poke check from Burns. He's back on it and rings it around the back wall, intercepted by the Blue Jays and lifted to center. Shermer screams it back down to the near side corner. Seed gets it there. Kicked forward by Farnsworth, and Creighton forced to regroup. Glazer with a great offensive zone poke check, freeing the puck up. He takes it at the near side wall, gets pinned up against there by Seed, and the puck can be cleared to Latcher. Latcher lifts it ahead and races after it. 6.5 gone by here in the second. Defensive zone turnover forced by Omaha. Cleared to center. Khoury gloves it down there. Dominic Khoury played off the puck by Hedquist and Glazer. Shermer lifts it back out. Kicked aside by Khoury with that brown helmet. Grabbed by Latcher, but finished into the offensive zone by Khoury. Cross check from Khoury in the corner. forces Lowndes to his knees as a shot in from the point from Kroski goes right into the breadbasket of Nawalvayan. The senior makes his 9th stop of the contest. Shots are 25-10 in favor of Omaha. After 16-6 in the first period, shots in the second are 9-4 in favor of the Crimson and Black. DeSpirito with a goal last night. Starts the breakout. Wagner with Tessier in the offensive zone. Pass across. Kicked out of harm's way by Lai. Not out of the zone as Dirk Schneider keeps it. Down the near wall. Intercepted by Lai. Kroski sauces it down to Kuri. He can't catch up to it. It's Lai at the blue line. Cross ice for Brown. Brown can't beat DeSpirito as a good poke check from the sophomore. Forces that puck free to center. Fitch racing after it. One-on-one battle. Kroski wins that, getting it to Pino. From center ice, Lai's pass intercepted by Tessier, and he'll circle back. 8 minutes have gone by. Omaha could not connect on that long pass, and it will be icing against the Mavs, with a draw coming back to the Creighton offensive side. Creighton with a 10-5 record. This just their third game of the second semester. It is their final ACHA Division III contest of the semester and of the season, as the Blue Jays did not qualify for the Mid-American Conference playoffs that these Mavericks will be playing in a couple of weeks in St. Louis. Omaha earned a top 4 seed after clinching the Mid-American West Division for the first time in its program history with the sweep of the Dordt Defenders and some help by these Blue Jays losing to Creighton the next week. Turnover. Cooper finds Clements, but a poke check from Wagner and another shot block from DeSpirito. Never tested Vayan. Back the other way with a 3-on-1 come the Mavs. Fitch with Wagner and Tessier. Fitch fires. Patted aside by Calderon. Omaha keeps it for a moment. Dirk Schneider with a wound-up blast off the glass. Picked up by Kraut. Into the slot goes Braden Kraut. Can't get it through the wickets of Seed, and he kicks it to the point. Kept in by Kraut. Lifted off of his stick by Cooper, and he circles back to the red line. Kraut with a lot of speed. He had a goal in the game last night. His 9th goal of the year. He's up to 19 points, looking for 20 in his freshman year. Shea intercepts that in the offensive zone. Charlie Shea tried to work around Burns. It's loose in the corner, and Burns banks it off the glass to center. All the way down behind the Maverick cage, Fories leaves it for the captain, Hunsaker. Charlie Shea plays it on to James Shea. Fories takes it into the zone. Moves around one man, sees a couple in front, leaves it there, but Kraut couldn't get a shot off, being tangled up with Clements. The puck is loose to center. Shea touches up on that one, playing it back to the senior Hunsaker on senior night. We are halfway through this contest and even 10 minutes into the second. As number 10, Charlie Shea works in. Cross-ice pass for Kraut. He couldn't get it off. Great stick from Kuri, preventing Kraut from getting a chance on that one. And it goes weakly into the cover of Calderon, who hangs onto that one with his 22nd stop of the contest. Omaha, a 6-1 record thus far in Mid-American West play. This is the final conference game of the season in the entire division, as a shot from the draw is covered up immediately. Omaha finished first with a 6-1 record, as aforementioned. They can improve on that here tonight with a victory over the Blue Jays. Dordt clinched second with the win over Creighton, and will also be heading to St. Louis as the two representatives from the West Division will be Omaha and Dordt. Omaha will earn a top 4 seed, and Dordt will be one of the 4 bottom seeds in the 8-man tournament coming up February 20th through 22nd in Chesterfield, a suburb of St. Louis. Curry dumps this one on. The senior Vayan gloves it down and leaves it behind for his Maverick defense. Shermer's stick lifted. Wins it back to the point. Shot gloved down by Lowndes. Played to the wall by Vayan. Another one turned on from Wheaton goes well wide. Picked up by Glazer, and he'll rush out of the zone. Blake Glazer from defense to offense. Takes a hit from Curry. Still working ahead with it. Played off the puck by Pino. It's cleared out to center. Charlie Lowndes takes that one and dumps it. Pino hangs onto it in the offensive zone for Omaha and now gets it out to center. But poke checked by Glazer, and here comes Lowndes again to Glazer. Cross ice, Lowndes on the doorstep, and it's somewhere under the pads of Calderon and in the cage for a goal. Charlie Lowndes, give him two, his second of the game, and he's got the Mavericks up 6-1, reinstating that 5-goal lead they swung out to in the first period. Charlie Lowndes with his 13th of the season. The most goals by any Maverick defenseman in any single season in the 5 years of ACHA play. As Charlie Lowndes, 11 minutes, 41 seconds into the second. It is the first tally for either side. As Glazer gets the assist. Omaha back on the attack. Tessier finds Epperson, shot saved by Calderon. Loose behind the cage. Bradley tried to get it back to Tessier. Too far for his stick, and Brown clears the zone. Finding David Calderon. He's 1 against 3 as he brings it in on the attack. Cut out by Epperson, who's having a career game. Shot in anyway and gloved down by the senior Vayan. It's a good crowd on hand here at Holland Ice. They're raucous in their roars of approval for these Mavs, and Omaha's given this crowd a lot to cheer about through the first half of this contest with Creighton, the second game of the season with these Blue Jays. Forey's digging at the puck in the skates of Calderon, and he draws a penalty for that. Burns sends it across ice, skating off the goaltender Calderon is gloving that one down as Hunsaker, sending it out, and sending Forey's off to the box is Connor Keene. Forey's can't believe it as tripping the call. 12 minutes, 34 seconds, and Creighton's going to go back on the man advantage where they were lethal last night, 4 for 4, 1 for 2 so far today. This is their first chance of the second period. Tripping the call on the junior out of Cottage Grove, Minnesota, Camden Forey's. It springs the Blue Jays on a power play for the third time tonight, and Vayan will make them start over from the faceoff dot after a glove save. His 12th of the contest and 6th of this period. Off the draw, David Calderon works towards center, taken down. Hunsaker with a great defensive play. No orange arms this time as Omaha lifts it down. Fitch loses that puck, but it's won back by Wagner. Just for a moment as Calderon was waiting on the blue line, he takes the puck into the offensive zone. Dances around one man, now finds Clemens. Had it for a moment before it was swept off his stick by Fitch. And Fitch is on the puck and loose. Carson Fitch fires it wide of the cage. Picks up his own miss, playing it back to the defenseman Hunsaker along the center ice line. Given up to Wagner, but offside was the call from our linesman Jackson Lundgren. And we'll get a face-off right in front of third-year head coach Nick Harahill, alongside his assistants Matt Pulver and Ben Johnson, both in their second years with the Mavs. In the other bench, Chris Clement was an assistant for a couple of years under Chris Kukurik, now getting his first season as head man of the Creighton Blue Jays, and he's got a 10-5 record. As a shot off the inside pane of glass in the Creighton bench, and it will go to neutral ice for a faceoff with 54 seconds to go on the penalty to Forys and 6 minutes and some change to play in the second. From neutral ice, the sophomore out of Stillwater, David Calderon, dumps it in. Crashing along the back wall is Omaha. Gets that puck to center ice. Shermer racing ahead, has Tessier on a 2-on-1. Shermer drives wide, tried to give it back to Tessier, blocked out front by Krosky. Up ahead to Latcher. Stops at the top of the zone and poke checked right back out to center by Tessier. Great stick from the sophomore out of Airdrie, Alberta, Canada. Came to Nebraska a year ago to play for the Midland Warriors and now finds himself with the Mavs playing in the Nebraska Cup. Cross-ice pass, Latcher. Waiting on the doorstep was Clements, but he fired it over the cage. Grabbed at the top of the zone. Krosky to Pino. Omaha 2 for 3 on the penalty kill today as Kraut screams out of the box. Pino sends one on, blocked out by his own man, and back the other way skates Tessier. Waiting for reinforcements, lifts it across for Lowndes. Shots gloved down by Calderon and held for the stoppage of play. 5:10 to go here in the second. Just one goal and one penalty to report in this period. The goal from Charlie Lowndes has made it 6-1, and the penalty from Forys, killed by the Mavericks, has put them to 2 for 3 on penalties killed tonight. From the D zone, Creighton lifts it to center. Kraut leaves it behind. Dirk Schneider weighs options, now races ahead. Driving wide, it sent off the stick of Burns. Shea from the wall tried to center it. Kicked out and cleared by the Blue Jays as Shea rams Wheaton into the wall. Puck freed and lifted to center ice. There it's collected by Beth, sent right off of the official and kept in the zone. See, off the stick of Beth and up into the netting. Good shot block by the sophomore out of Hastings, Mason Beth. That's Hastings, Minnesota, as we do have a Hastings, Nebraska here in the Cornhusker State. But both Beth and Kraut out of Hastings. They were Raiders with the Hastings Hockey Club in the Minnesota State High School League. And in the offensive zone, Creighton loses that puck. Glazer to Hedquist. And Ryan's played off the puck at center ice. Khoury in his own zone. Poke check free by Glazer. It goes right to the sticks of Lai, and Lai takes it in. Couldn't beat Hedquist as the poke check springs Glazer ahead. Left behind for Shermer. Shermer tried to get it to Hunsaker, waiting on the doorstep, and it was cut out by Khoury, who races ahead. Now Krosky tried to send it across. It was intercepted by Hunsaker, and now he gets a shot block off of Pino's chance. Getting it ahead to Glazer, who's into the offensive zone. Can't beat Krosky, who forces Glazer off the puck with 3:33 to go. Here comes Biebler on a 2-on-2 rush. Across for Schumacher, spinning to try to find Latcher. Could not connect, and Omaha clears. Glazer taken down by the stick of Krosky. Back the other way with a 2-on-1, and the arms of the official in the air. Shermer back to the back wall for Glazer. To Wagner and Mann. Omaha chases back out to center ice. with an extra man out there until Creighton touches up on this delayed penalty call. Voorhees takes it, finds Fitch, rips it, and it goes wide. Grabbed by man, behind the cage, out to Lowndes. Finds Fitch, to Lowndes, through the scrum, and it's gloved down by Calderon. Finally, the whistle is blown, and the penalty can be called on the Blue Jays. Tripping is the infraction. Kroski is the guilty party. And Omaha gets the power play. The call comes at 17:14 of the second. The second trip of the period, the first on the Blue Jays, as Omaha gets set up on the man advantage. Hunsaker takes it, rips it into the glove of Calderon, flashing leather as he hangs on for the whistle and his 25th save of the game. Still a long way to go to match Bertram's total from a night ago with 64 stops on 67 Maverick shots on goal. But still an impressive 31 shots to this point for Omaha as Hunsaker rips one off the glass. That will not go for a shot on goal. Creighton clears it, and loose is Calderon. Working in, moving around Bayan, but couldn't get the shot off. He crashes into the Maverick goaltender, but could not fire one on net. Vayan, an intimidating figure down there in the Maverick crease. He's a tall goaltender, but athletically built. And as David Calderon was bearing down, leading the Blue Jays in points on this 8-game goal streak, could not even muster a shot attempt, as Vayan will come to the bench for some repairs. Digging into his teeth, he's checking on the chiclets. As he gets attention from our trainer. As Vayan gets attention. Still being tended to on the Maverick bench is the senior goalie. And now breaks from the fray and will go back to his goal crease. Why not? Soak it all up on senior night. It's your time, kid. As Frenchie Vayan back into his crease. Still a minute and 37 to work with on the Maverick power play. This the third chance of the game for Omaha. The draw will be at neutral ice after Creighton dislodged the net. Pass too far for Wagner. Burns clears it back to center where Fitch collects. Fitch fires right through the defense, and Calderon makes the easy stop. 2:12 to go here in the second. It is 6-1 in favor of Omaha, who fell 4-3 in last night's contest to Creighton. The Nebraska Cup is on the line for this one, as Hunsaker takes it in the offensive zone with a minute 15 to go on the man advantage. Wagner back to Hunsaker. He hangs on in the corner, finding Tessier up top. Across to man. Wagner in the slot, rips it loose on the rebound, and it kicks out to Tessier along the blue line. For Wagner, fired, tipped in front, and it's in! Carson Fitch burns this one past Calderon. And he's seeded 7 to the Mavericks for the second straight contest, dating back to January 18, 2025, and a 7-4 victory for Omaha. This time it's Fitch on the tip drill in front, taking the garbage out. And he gets his 9th goal of the year to go along with 9 assists and 18 points. Second power play tally of the game for Omaha, who is just 1 for 7 a night ago. That's 18-16 of the second. And Charlie Shea quickly back into the offensive zone, leaves it out front. It bounces off Calderon, the goalie, as Shea delivers a hit behind the cage. Officials saw that one, and a penalty coming up on Omaha. Racing ahead is Schumacher on the delayed call for the Mavs. Schumacher gets benched by Kraut, as touching up on that one is Farnsworth. And skating off to the box will be Charlie Shea for Omaha. Shea with a check from behind at 18:43 of the second. Second power play of the period for Creighton. 0 for 2 this frame after 1 for 2 a period ago. As they get set on the second chance, Burns to Seave, cross to Calderon, and back up top, Tommy Seave with 1:04 to play in the period. Burns down to Latcher, hangs on to it, trying to find Clemens in front. He slips it up to him. Clemens couldn't get a shot off. Latcher picks it up along the wall to the point for Seave. Switches places with the D-man Burns and plays it down low to Latcher. Latcher works towards the top and gives it back to Seave. Whistle blows, arm in the air of the official. And it appears we've got a penalty coming up on Creighton. This will wipe out the Blue Jay power play if so. As no, the call from Fitzpatrick was actually a player in the crease, goaltender interference at the time of the shot. So the whistle blows and the puck is taken back out of the zone. A call not normally seen until a goal is scored, but it can be blown dead if an official witnesses the player in the crease, gives him fair warning, and the player does not vacate. 15 seconds to go in the period. Time for one last rush for Creighton, but a poke check is going to prohibit them from entering the zone. Deep into the end are the Blue Jays as C brings this one over the line with 9 seconds to go in the period. Shea in the box for another 52 seconds. They won't make him stay there through the intermission. He can go off, but he will have to return and serve the final 43 seconds at the beginning of the third. This, of course, barring a Creighton goal here in the last 5 seconds as Seave backhands it on net. Vahan makes the stop, and as Omaha clears it out, we skate to the second intermission with a score of Omaha 7 and Creighton just 1. Shots through 2 periods of play are 34-14 for the Mavericks. That includes 18-8 shots in the second, of course, in favor of UNO. We will take the break with them and be back with you for the final period of the regular season on the UNO ACHA Mavericks stream on YouTube. And welcome back, final period of the year. Holland Ice at Baxter Arena. Nate Obrecht, Peyton McDermott, Sebastian Cassiopo. Pleased to be with you as always. The score 7-1 in favor of Omaha as we skate to the final period of the 25-26 regular season. It is not the end of the line for these Mavericks, though, as in 2 weeks' time, they're back on the ice in St. Louis in the Mid-American Conference Tournament. Those will not be broadcast on the UNO ACHA Mavericks stream. And, of course, should the Mavs punch a ticket to Nationals for the first time, those would be all on Flow Hockey, meaning this is the last time we will all be together on the UNO ACHA Mavericks YouTube channel in the 25-26 season. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all of you who have tuned in all season, whether it be for 10 minutes, 10 games, or all year long. Thank you for your support of the Omaha ACHA Mavericks. It means the world to us. We'd also like to give a special shout out to David Kuchera watching from Puerto Vallarta in Mexico. We'd also like to give a shout out to Frank Mills. Thank you both for tuning in tonight. As we begin the third period of play, Omaha still a man down. Shea with 35 seconds left in the box after a tripping call. Actually, his was checking from behind late in the second. Sieve has the puck. He gives it down low to Latcher. Latcher takes it there. He had the first goal for Creighton way back in the first period, making it a 5-1 contest. Omaha has since scored twice in the second and now has the puck and clears the zone. That's off the stick blade of Cam Fories and all the way down as 5 seconds remain on a penalty to Charlie Shea. Two-line pass sent up ahead. Calderon gives it to Clements. Out to the blue line, Burns, cross-ice pass for Tommy C. Shot on, rebound chance, could not be gathered by Calderon. Latcher picks it up along the wall, gains possession back, tried to center it. It's loose, and Kraut digs it out of the defensive zone for Omaha. Walks in, gives it to Charlie Shea. Moves across, backhand drive, and it's in! Charlie Shea completes the Kearney quadfecta. Charlie Shea, his 13th goal of the season, puts the Mavericks in front by 7. It's 8-1 Omaha. A minute and 6 seconds into the third. Let those horns ring throughout Holland Ice. And the UNO chant to match. These Maverick fans loving the finale here tonight. As just a minute, 6 seconds into the third period, it's Charlie Shea, the fourth man from Kearney, Nebraska, on the score sheet in this one, alongside his fellow Kearneyites, Glazer, Shermer, and Epperson, who have all tallied a goal in this one. Shea joins the Kearney quadfecta, and quickly dumping that one back down his lounge. Oh, it's turned into a party here on senior night at Holland Ice. As Omaha up 8-1 on the Blue Jays. This match is the largest total of any Omaha against Creighton contest in the 6 meetings prior to this season. As Creighton defeated Omaha 8-1 in the 22-23 campaign before Omaha rattled off 4 straight victories through the next 2 years. Creighton got one back a night ago, but this one has been all Omaha from the word go in Game 2 here tonight. In the offensive zone for the Mavs once more, it's loose, and Charlie Shea picks it up. The most recent goal scorer, there have been 7 for 8 goals. As Farnsworth had one, he rips it on. It's saved by Calderon, still in the net after giving up his 8th goal of the game. And here comes number 8 again. Farnsworth rips it, and it's wide of the cage. Stopped partially by Calderon on its way there. And cleared out to center off the second try from Latcher. DeSpirito had to wait for Farnsworth to get out the ice. That meant Schumacher is first to touch up in the offensive zone for Creighton. Pass sent up ahead. Here comes Wyatt Wagner working down low. Wagner Behind the cage now. Pressured by Burns. He's freed of the puck. Latcher takes it for Creighton. Up the other way, Schumacher sent into the wall by Fitch. It's backhanded out to center ice where it's collected and sent down by Sieve. Wagner works in. Cross ice looking for Fitch. Couldn't catch up to that pass. It's cut out by Burns. Grabbed by Wyatt Wagner. Picked off by Sieve, and he skates ahead. Sieve sends it in. Glove down by Van, and he covers as Sieve was going in, trying to bury his own rebound. Now we'll hold as we are into run time, everybody. The Mavericks have run the clock up on Creighton, and they continue to run the scores. They're up to 8-1 here on the Blue Jays in Game 2. Three and a half minutes gone by here in the final period. Hunsaker clears the zone. It's cut out at center by Kroski. Calderon can't get it by Shermer at center. Second entry was dumped in. Up skate the Mavs from defense. A cross ice pass Voorhees finds Hedquist. Pivoting in the offensive zone. Tried to fire it to Glazer. It bounces off the ribs cage of Glazer. Kept in by Shermer. Down the near side wall goes Glazer. Back behind the cage for Hedquist. Dug out to the point for Voorhees. Fires one off the back wall. Loose on the near side of the cage. Shermer lip it for Glazer. And Calderon covers with the blocker. 4.5 have gone by here in the third. Shots are 36-16 in favor of the Mavs. They entered the period at 34-16 UNO in shots. 2 shots, 1 goal here through the first 5 minutes of play. As Voorhees takes the puck in the offensive zone again. Out of the zone skates David Calderon. Over the blue line, he works in. Glove down by Van. Flashing leather is the senior, making his 16th stop and his first of the third. This is not the period Creighton wishes to find itself trailing the Mavericks, as Omaha has outscored its opponents 67-18 through the first 30 contests of this season. That is the widest margin and the most goals scored by the Mavericks in any of the 3 periods is Calderon. Races after that puck, but winning the race is Cam Voorhees. Clears it out to the point, kept in by Pino. Sent down, but intercepted by Voorhees again. Tried to go off the glass. It hits the netting on the short glass. And whistle sounds just past the 6-minute mark, and time keeps melting away on that scoreboard as we inch closer to the awarding of the Nebraska Cup. Creighton entered with a record of 5-0. That's 4 wins against Nebraska and a win against Omaha last time out as they clear the puck to center ice. Omaha fell to 2-1 in the Nebraska Cup race, but a head-to-head matchup here with the Blue Jays is all that's left to determine who takes the trophy. As you wonder why Omaha had to bury the Huskers back in November or December of this season by a score of 27-1 over the 2 games played against Nebraska. It factored into the goal differential for this entire Cup series, meaning that should Creighton and Omaha finish with identical records in the 2 games played against each other, the next tiebreaker is total goal differential, and despite the Blue Jays having played 2 more games than the Mavericks against the Huskers, their goal differential is plus 13 and Omaha's is plus 25 as Farnsworth works in. And it's turned over in the offensive zone. Kraut wrists one high. Collected by Brown, but he couldn't clear the zone. Jimmy Shea dumps it in. It's banked off the glass, and Omaha collects at center ice with 12 minutes to go. Lowndes dumps it in. Calderon leaves it there for Kroski. His pass could not find Schumacher. Icing negated by our linesman Jackson Lundgren. Farnsworth trying to battle with it on the far side. It's cleared out to center ice where it's picked up by Kroski, spinning it back into center for Latcher. Latcher works to the slot. Played off the puck there by Lowndes and cleared out to center ice. Racing after that one is Kraut, doing battle with Pino, chasing him into the defensive end. One out to center by Pino. Kraut intercepts there, played off of his stick by Biebler. Biebler can't find Shoemaker. Back the other way come the Mavs. Shea, the most recent goal scorer, could not keep possession. Creighton clears it out. 9 minutes gone by here in the final period of the 25-26 regular season. It is the end of the line for the Blue Jays as Kraut works into the zone. Played off of the puck by Burns. And out to center. Long stretch pass cut out at center ice by Dirk Schneider. He dumps it in and on. Calderon blockers it to his defenseman C. Trying to find David Calderon cherry picking. It's once again intercepted at center ice by Dirk Schneider. This time the Blue Jays do find Calderon on the far blue line. He stops at the top of the circles, gets it across to Clemens. Loses it and escapes for a moment. Steve sends one ringing off the crossbar. Rebound chance from Clemens. Sticked aside. Now a centering try from Cooper. It's intercepted by Dirk Schneider. Can't be cleared. Steve keeps it and rips one, and it's patted aside by Vayan. Great stop from Noel Vayan, who's now up to 19 saves in his senior night game. Fitch brings it in. Tried to go back to Wagner. Poke checked out of harm's way, and here comes Creighton. Even 2-on-2 rush as Mann tries to get back and negates that chance. Forey stops Calderon and forces a turnover. There it's Chase Mann. Working ahead as we are past halfway through period number 3. Omaha has extended the lead out to 8-1. Thanks to the goals from Carson Fitch and Charlie Shea in this period. Excuse me, Fitch's was last period. Shea's was this period. As the Mavericks have swelled this to an 8-1 advantage. Hunsaker from behind his own net. Long two-line pass finds Glazer on the blue line. Glazer into the offensive zone against 4 Blue Jays. Now gets some help from his Mavericks who join the zone. Played off the puck by Brown. Kroski finds Wheaton, and here comes Creighton. 9 minutes to go. Lai couldn't keep it. Glazer sees open ice in front of him. Can't beat Steve, and Steve poke checks it onto the stick of Brown, who's in. Brown tried to leave it behind for Lai. It appeared 2 Blue Jays were trying to play the same puck, and neither could control it as Brown circles back to center ice. Voorhees fakes a hit on Brown and forces the dump in. Hunsaker takes it there and settles things down with 8.5. Off the wall, Glazer works in, has Shermer with him, tried to lift it up to him, got deflected partially the way there. Glazer on the wraparound, and it's stuffed on the far post by Calderon. Time melting away here in the third as we inch closer to the crowning of the Nebraska Cup. Last season, it took a winner-take-all game between these Omaha Mavericks and the Nebraska Cornhuskers as a shot in goes off the glass. And down at the ice box, it was Lincoln beating Omaha to take the first ever Nebraska Cup and etch their name on the sides of that trophy that will be handed out in just 7 minutes and 40 seconds as Lowndes delivers another big blow to the Blue Jays on the boards. A shot in from the point. Kroski's tracking that one below the goal line. He takes it, ringing it around. Passes it to Steve. Rips one. Shoulder down. Diving block by Vayan. Grabbed by Epperson. Sent out to center. There Sieve doing battle and gets the puck back. Tommy Sieve dumps it in. Played to Farnsworth. He can't break it out of the zone. Kept in by Kroski, who works down the wall. Kicked off of his stick from Tessier, and Omaha takes it. Stretch pass. Lowndes was trying to find Tessier, ramps off of his stick and goes down low. Back out in front, and it's Charlie Lowndes. Where are the hats? Lowndes with his third of the game. It is the first career hat trick for the man from Omaha, Nebraska, Charlie Lowndes. 14 goals now in the final game of this season, and there goes the toque from Easton Newman on the bench. Congratulations, the first ever hat trick from Charlie Lowndes, and the crowd roars to approval. The goal comes at 13:10 of the third. It is the third of the game for Lowndes, who has the puck again. Gets it to Epperson, who takes a couple of big hits from two Blue Jays who collide. And the Creighton crowd obviously disgruntled with the Mavericks in attendance here tonight, as Omaha has taken an 8-goal lead. Epperson looking to extend. Found Tessier, couldn't get the return pass through, and Calderon takes possession on the near wall. Can't get past Tessier. Offensive zone turnover. Tessier couldn't find Bradley as it's taken back by Pino. 6 minutes to go, and a shot goes on from Cooper. It's gloved down. And Vayan makes the stop. Creighton is arguing about the scoreline and the fact that the Maverick fans have not relented in their raucous applause of these Omaha fans and players. She'd be well advised to go home and watch the rest of this one on the UNOACHA Mavericks channel. She remains in her seat and watches Charlie Shea send another shot on net. Calderon makes the stop. He's up to 31 saves on 40 total Maverick chances. The score is at 9-1. It is the largest margin of victory in any Omaha-Creighton matchup, barring a Blue Jay goal or an Omaha extension. That will just add to the lore of this legend, the 25-26 Omaha Mavericks. Racing in to try to cancel that out is Chris Brown. He misses that shot side of the cage. It's picked up by DeSpirito. He had a goal last night. Great defensive effort today from Rocco DeSpirito, and he takes this puck in. Fires it. It would have gone high, but Calderon catches it in his right hand and hangs on. 4.5 minutes to play here in the season finale. Omaha fans can barely contain the excitement. They remember last season and the loss to the Huskers. The story has been completely flipped this year as Dirk Schneider fires one on. The Huskers went 0-6 in league play, or statewide play. And it's the Mavs and Blue Jays who have dominated the Cornhusker State. But Omaha, through this game, 9 goals to just 1. As Tommy Sieve lifts us up to center ice. Dirk Schneider takes this back in his own end. Pass chopped out. Khoury fires it, save made by the senior Vayan. Big roars of approval from this Maverick crowd applauding the senior, who has been excellent in all 24 shot attempts tonight. One got by him early in the first. It was already 5-1 Omaha at that point. It is now 9-1 as his team in front of him has put on an offensive clinic against Creighton, their crosstown rival. Utter domination from these Mavericks, the boys of 67th and Center, taking on the downtown Jays and crushing them in Game 2 by a score of 9-1 so far. Penalty coming up on the Mavs as Hunsaker, the senior, will get his name on the score sheet one more time. Taking a trip, and no, it's not Hunsaker. He'll stay out on the ice to kill this penalty as it's Carson Fitch, his second of the game. He leaves his stick up in the netting and his gloves. Why not his helmet too? Yep, Fitch is completely undressing in the Maverick bench right now, looking like a Bash brother. As Omaha gets this puck and haphazardly clears it down the ice. Fitch taking a load up in the box now as Cooper brings this one back in for Creighton. Harassed right at the blue line. Tessier wins it out. Onto his stick from Epperson. Tessier rips it and it's blockered aside. Burns finds Latcher. He skates into the zone. Played off the puck by the stick plate of the senior Hunsaker. And the senior Vayan covers up to freeze the puck with 2:12 to go in the game. Seconds continue to melt away as the score has increased to a one-time margin here. You don't see that too often in the ACHA. The Mavericks have achieved it a couple of times already. Once in the first game of the season against Wisconsin-Platteville, a contest they won 13-1. They also did it against Missouri, an 11-1 game here at Baxter Arena. The final time we reached runtime was in the Nebraska series when 18-0 and 9-1 showed on the scoreboard in favor of these Mavericks. So Creighton can't take it too personal. Omaha likes to bury their teams. Can't risk letting anything to chance when you're the 9th-ranked team in the land battling for an at-large spot. That is what is still on the line for these Mavericks, as you have to win your conference championship and be in the top 16 of the ACHA. Omaha right now holds 9th. Likely to drop after the split this weekend with Creighton, barring 8 goals from the Blue Jays here in the final minute of play. Pass across. Omaha back to full strength. Fitch is out of the box. Omaha is now 4 for 5 on penalties killed after 0 for 4 in the game a night ago. Jimmy Shea works ahead, leaving it there for Barrett Bradley. He's played off the puck by Steve. Here's Bradley off the stick of Calderon. Right on the doorstep, it's cleared by Ethan Cooper with 30 seconds to go. 25 seconds in the regular season, and Hunsaker's got it. Saucing it up ahead to Barrett Bradley. No one was around. Bradley works in, has man on the back post, tried to get it to him. Steve pokes it aside as 10 seconds show on the board. Omaha with sheer dominance in this one. Glazer, Epperson, Shermer, 3 from Lowndes, Farnsworth, Fitch, and Charlie Shea combined. Now obeying with 24 saves on 25 shots. And for the first time in program history, Omaha has won the Nebraska Cup. The season ends with a resounding bang and a Nebraska Cup for the Mavs for the first time in the 5 years of ACHA play, and the 2 seasons this cup has been awarded. They lost the one last year to Nebraska, and it feels oh so good to get the cup this year against the Crosstown Blue Jays by a dominant score of 9-1 here in Game 2. Stay tuned. We've got the trophy presentation coming up right after the handshake line here from Holland Ice at Baxter Arena. What a season it has been for these Mavericks. A complete record of 25-4 with 2 ties. 1 a shootout loss that still won Omaha its first trophy of the season, the Omaha Showdown Cup. They had another tie, which was a shootout victory over Purdue in the Chicago Classic. They take home that cup, and now the trifecta as they take home their 3rd trophy of the season, possibly the sweetest of them all, as Cameron Moore, the 3rd goalie tonight, waits to hand out the cup to the captain, Troy Hunsaker. Coach Harahill through 3 seasons, a record of 56 wins, 29 losses, 5 in OT, and 2 ties, both coming this season. The Blue Jays finish with an all-time regular season record of 10 wins and 6 losses. It is just the second winning season for the Blue Jays since their stats were recorded in the 2017 and 18 year. Omaha began play in 21-22 as taking that cup from Cameron Moore, posing for the picture is Troy Hunsaker before taking it back to his Mavericks. The 25-26 campaign saw 25 wins. It is the most in club history, all 5 seasons of it. It has brought these fans to life, and it has brought this program to life. As in just his 3rd year, Coach Harahill has his guys rolling. The 2 seniors will first out of this club, and they will skate with the cup. Hunsaker first and now Vayan. The senior tonight, 24 stops on senior night for Nawal Vayan. He gives a cup kiss to the corn cup and will pass it off to the ACHA leading goal scorer, assist getter, and point producer, Blake Glazer. A goal and a myriad of assists tonight, 39 throughout the regular season, as the Mavs will now kneel down. No photo, they say. They will skate to the crowd side and celebrate with this bunch that's on hand here at Holland Ice. All season, this crowd has been bringing the life and the energy for these Mavs, and it has been easy to cheer for them. Just 2 home losses on the campaign, as Omaha has been dominant here at Baxter Arena and dominant this entire year. Once again, it will keep going in 2 weeks' time at Chesterfield, Missouri, for the Mid-American Conference playoffs. Omaha has earned a top seed for the first time in its program history, clinching the ACHA and the Mid-American West Division for the first time in program history. 3 total trophies to boot with this cup here tonight, the Nebraska Cup. And at least 1 more to go as we sign off here. I've been Nate Obrecht all season. Thank you for tuning in to the UNO ACHA Mavericks stream on YouTube, alongside our wonderful producer, Sebastian Cassiopo, and cameraman extraordinaire, Caden McDermott. Thank you, all of you. Have a great night.